The Roman Empire holds the record for being the one that endured the longest throughout history. It persisted for close to 2,000 years. It has made enormous contributions to the fields of society, art, language, and science. In addition, we may still observe evidence of its influence in the modern world, such as the fact that the origin of numerous legal words can be traced back to ancient Rome. When you think about a kingdom that was both so beautiful and so powerful, you can find yourself wondering about what life was like for ancient Romans. In the video that we have for you today, we will discuss what a typical day in the life of a Roman emperor entailed, as well as some of the activities that they may have pursued in their spare time. It is possible that not all of the rulers of the Roman Empire shared the same interests and pastimes due to the length of time the empire existed. It is possible that something that was true for an emperor in the year 20 BCE will not be true for an emperor in the year 800 CE. Let's speak about some of the activities that the emperors might have enjoyed doing in their free time. A night in the theater. The common people enjoyed participating in a number of the leisure activities that the emperors participated in. One excellent illustration of this would be the theater as well as other forms of performing acts. Satire was a popular form of writing among the upper classes in Roman society. Unfortunately, the people who could connect to this allegory the most were the ones who liked it the best. It was about the perils of going overboard. A great number of emperors were also avid theater-goers, and at least one of them even tried his hand at acting. Nero was the emperor of Rome, and he was notorious for his cruelty and idiocy during his reign. He also fancied himself an actor and would perform in plays in which he had a starring role for himself. Despite the fact that Romans enjoyed theater, they held the performers to an even lower standard than prostitutes. People believed that the work was unethical, and acting was generally seen as a menial profession at the time. Even if the Romans did not approve of players, it looked that they enjoyed what they were doing very much. This obsession with the work but not the creator brings to mind pornography and the performers who star in it. People enjoy pornography very much, but they despise the porn stars who do it. A deadly show. The Colosseum, which was the location of many of these battles, is as much a part of Roman culture as the gladiator games themselves. People enjoyed watching others get slain. Thus, when morale was low among the populace, Roman emperors would often order the games to be held. The games component of the bread and games motto of the Roman government, on the other hand, did not just refer to entertainment for the common people. The most famous of the Roman emperors who enjoyed watching gladiator battles was named Caligula. Caligula is notorious for his brutal and erratic behavior, part of which manifested itself in the manner in which he altered the gladiator games. His participation in the already brutal sport during the years he lived helped to make it even more so. The condemned were either publicly burnt at the stake or thrown into a pit with ravenous dogs. Because Caligula enjoyed the games so much, he participated in them, despite the fact that he had to adhere to a number of very specific regulations. There were others who would visit the arena in addition to him. Commodus was another renowned emperor who donned the armor of a gladiator and engaged in combat with members of the crowd who were unarmed. Commodus would award himself a prize of 1 million Roman sesterces if he was victorious, which was almost always the case. Lots of sex. It is a common misconception that one of the most peculiar aspects of the Roman Empire was the sexual preferences of its upper-class citizens. The Roman elite, and particularly the emperors, were known to engage in a wide variety of revolting behaviors with regard to their bodies. Because Caligula had a reputation for being sexually promiscuous, he is frequently brought up in discussions on controversial topics. He would have sexual relations with the spouses of the persons he had appointed to leadership positions and then brag about it. Some people claim that he had such a strong desire for sexual encounters that he even had relations with his sisters. However, experts now believe that these statements are exaggerated to an excessive degree. Emperor Tiberius was a pedophile, and he forced his nephew Caligula to have sex with a boy prostitute who was too young to be his partner. Tiberius also had intercourse with a boy prostitute himself. Julius Caesar is typically credited with being the individual who initiated the process that led to the collapse of the Roman Republic, but he was also fond of the way individuals appeared. Caesar was a bisexual man who frequently had connections with other men, despite the fact that he was away on extended military trips. He even had a brief relationship with King Nicomedes of Bithynia, who ruled the region that is now known as Turkey. It would appear that many of the Roman monarchs enjoyed engaging in sexual activity. Whining and dining. The love of delicious food and drink was one of the many things that united the emperors of Rome, but it was certainly one of the most important. The majority of the emperor's diet consisted of meat, wine, fruits, and vegetables. In addition, Roman emperors were known for their penchant for hosting lavish celebrations for their officials and, on occasion, for the entire populace as well. At these events, guests were treated to a broad variety of delectable dishes, such as fried dormice and peacock tongues, as well as a comprehensive selection of pricey wines. Because there was such an abundance of food, a significant portion of it was frequently thrown away. The Roman emperors enjoyed eating pork, which they typically consumed in the form of roasted sausages and washed down with wine that had been sweetened with honey and diluted with water. Their poor behavior did not end here either. As the Roman Empire expanded, it began to engage in the business of trading exotic spices. Because of this, people's methods of cooking evolved over time. The Roman emperors developed a liking for spices, therefore they had a significant amount of them added to the cuisine they ate. It seems like everyone was particularly enthusiastic about the cuisine. Anything they wanted. The life of a Roman emperor was incredibly unique in comparison to that of a typical Roman citizen. The vast majority of folks just could not think of any of their hobbies. The majority of individuals just did not have the financial means to engage in frequent sexual activity, consume large quantities of food, or frequently visit the theater. In point of fact, the response to the inquiry posed by this text is quite clear. Roman emperors did whatever they pleased in their leisure time. When you were emperor, you could get away with almost anything. Nevertheless, there were moments when you had to restrain yourself from expressing your darkest desires so that the Praetorian Guard wouldn't get rid of you. We hope you liked this video, subscribe to the channel if you're a history addict, and please let us know about what civilization or time period we should talk about. Also, watch another video here.